All right, so our next video that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about simplifying polynomials. The last one we just talked about was understanding. So what's a coefficient, a variable, constant, those kinds of things. So we know what makes up a polynomial. We know what it is. We just need to understand how to start working the problem, basically. So we're going to simplify polynomials. So one thing you have to understand is the concept of like terms. So let's look at the picture. So the picture we have here really shows a standard equation here for a polynomial. So our like terms, now remember, each one of these is a term, and this makes up in aggregate the entire equation. So we have to understand that like terms, so 8x squared plus 4x squared, those are the same. The terms must be the same. So you have to have the same powers within them. So you see right here on this particular term, 4x squared y cubed. That is not the same as 3x cubed y squared, because x squared y cubed are not the same here. But it is the same over here. We have x squared and y cubed. So that's good. That's a like term. This here is not a like term. So we cannot do anything with unlike terms, but we can with like terms, so that's good. So what in this case, what I would do is I would take the 4, I would add it to this 2, because right here our little plus sign is telling us to do that. So 4x2y3 plus 2x2y3 gives me 6x2y3. Then I'm just going to plus this to it as well. So I'm going to have 6x2y3 plus 3x3y2. So like it says in our box here, variables do not have the same powers. The terms of the expression are not like terms. So you can think of it as like, unlike, not alike, however you want to say it. Really the best way to think of it as like terms and unlike terms. So you can have a problem, and I'm at 338, by the way, in the book. So if you look at, say, section B on 339, simplify expressions by combining. So the first question there is 3x squared y plus 4x squared y. So those are like terms. That's fantastic. So because we have an x squared y and x squared y for our second part of the problem. So all I do is add those two. I add the 3, I add the 4. So that becomes 7x squared y. We've just simplified that expression. Our next one, 3b plus b. Now remember the rule. If you have that term there, that variable there by itself, which that b is, you have to assume that it is a 1. So reality, it's 3b plus 1b. So that gives us 4b. Remember, you see that variable by itself, assume it's 1. So question 23 is the same way. A minus 7a plus 3. So again, assume that a, we're going to add a 1 to that. So that becomes 1a. So 1a minus 7a plus 3. So if I take a 1 from a 7, remember that gives me negative 6. Not 6, but negative 6. So that's going to become negative 6a plus 3. Remember, if we're on the number line and I have 1 and I'm taking 7 from it, I have to go into the negative of my number line, okay? So that becomes negative 6a plus 3. All right, hopefully this made sense to you.